Aim of life. If life is a river, then its goal should not be to join the sea. The goal of life should be to make the land alongside fertile and flow properly. We have come empty-handed and shall go empty-handed. We will take along some memories and leave behind footprints. Only love can make this way of our journey beautiful. This universe of ours, is it a reality or a dream? Is it tangible or illusion? This is a big question. We shall not be able to find answers ever to many such similar questions. What is the aim of our lives? Is it success or pleasure? Advancement or sacrifice? Money or love? Power or respect? Being famous or being integrated? Work or service? Enjoying life or understanding God? Knowledge or devotion? Being victorious or discovering something new? All of us have different opinions. A soldier's aim is victory. A lover's aim is love. An artist's aim is to create something new. A saint's aim is sacrifice. A spiritual leader aims to understand the existence of God. A common man's aim is to enjoy life. For some people, work is the objective of life, while some people think service is the actual aim of life. As Swami Vivekananda said, those who serve mankind or any other living being are serving God. Devote yourself for betterment of the whole world. A businessman wants to have money, success, and improvement. But do these guarantee pleasures of life? Does power ensure respect? Isn't it equally important to be integrated along with being famous? Knowledge is more important for wise. Devotion is more important to the devotee. However, I think every man has all the desires that I have mentioned so far. Sometimes they are dominant and sometimes subdued. There are qualities of a soldier, a lover, an artist, a businessman, and others in every man. Now, we have to decide, how would we like to see our lives? Life will take us to that course in which we would like to set our lives. The aim of our lives will also follow that course.
The future world devoid of human existence. This is a future condition of the planet Earth when it is no longer suitable for human habitation. Maybe human beings are responsible for that. The dissolved oxygen in the air has become so toxic that man cannot breathe in such air. Majority of human beings have left the Earth. Those who could not have died due to lack of pure oxygen. This toxic oxygen has caused the death of millions of people and also animals. The human beings who have left the Earth have started living in the universe. In the course of time, they are living in 108 asteroids. They are in search of a planet like the Earth. They are traveling in various dimensions to find out new Earth, but they are yet to find it. The planet Earth has no human being now because it is unsuitable for human habitation. However, in spite of the absence of man, the life cycle is still continuing on the Earth. New kinds of living beings have evolved in different ways. Strange creatures are living on the Earth now. In future, man can come to the Earth sometimes for brief visits carrying artificial oxygen with them, but they cannot settle down here permanently. We have made this earth unfit for human habitation. That is why the future human beings are blaming us and asking us why we have made this beautiful earth unsuitable for human habitation. As long as this earth was suitable for us, we did not take proper care of it. We did not give its proper value. We ourselves have made this planet harmful for us. And then after leaving the earth, we have realized our mistakes. But now it is too late.
Science and religion. The more I study science, the more I believe in God. Albert Einstein. According to the religious concept, universe is a living being and emotion, love, is the regulator of the universal rule. God is the soul of the universe. But scientists have doubt that if God creates the universe, then who creates the God? We can say that God is the supreme energy of the universe. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another. Albert Einstein. So, we can say that God cannot be created or destroyed. God is the ultimate truth. According to Advaita Vedanta philosophy, universe is an illusion and the ultimate truth is Brahma, God. Time is an illusion. Albert Einstein. Time is relative and flexible, and according to Einstein, the dividing line between past, present, and future is an illusion. So reality is ultimately an illusion. If you go fast, your clocks run slow relative to people who are still. According to modern science, space and time are simultaneous phenomena like mass and energy, and together form the fabric of the universe known as space-time. Time is a fourth dimension. If time is an illusion, then space is also an illusion. So, we can say that our universe or multiverse is an illusion. Only truth is the supreme energy, God. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. Albert Einstein. God is the greatest scientist of all time. God is the greatest artist of all time. But God is not a magician. So Big Bang and evolution theories are true. Theory of relativity is the biggest truth. God is the one, the soul of the universe. We can call him Ishwar, Allah, or God. But he is the one, the supreme energy of the universe. We should not fight each other in the name of God. No science can save us if we are not able to become moral. If we are not able to recognize our true God. Believe it or not, without religion and morality, human being will become monster. Science and religion should respect each other. Science and religion should work together to make a better world.
childhood, we are taught to follow the principle of sharing is caring. If we share our pleasures, it grows manifold. If we share our pain, the burden of it becomes less heavy. However, be it pleasure or pain, it should always be shared with real friends. Otherwise, it may have a reverse effect. In childhood, we are taught to share toys and other little things with our friends so that the bonding becomes strong. Not only friendship, but sharing is also very important for all our relationships. Just like understanding, adjustment, trust, and communication are important, sharing too is important for a relationship. If we can properly share the amount of resource available in our earth among all, there would not be any poverty. No one will die of hunger. Poverty is man-made. Man themselves have created poverty. By the unequal sharing of resources, we have created poverty. If we share the wealth, its utility increases. If we share the wealth, its utility increases many times. If we share knowledge, it also increases. Sharing can solve half of the problems in the world. For the development and protection of our world, lots and lots of money is not necessary. We need proper education and healthy mentality. We need knowledge, intelligence, moral value, and strong character. The available resource of the earth is sufficient to feed the human population, but not enough to satisfy human greed. Gradually, human beings are behaving in such stupid manner that they are heading towards self-destruction. They are destroying natural resources, making the earth unfit for human habitation. That is why the noble men have said that stupidity and greed are leading men towards destruction. Greatest problem of this world is poverty. We have created this problem by unfair distribution of wealth. Poverty is man-made. Unequal distribution of wealth results in poverty. Otherwise, with the resources that there is in our earth, no one is expected to die for lack of food. One class of people waste, so the other class of people remain deprived. 5,000 years ago, coins were brought into use in China. Since then, out of greed for wealth, one class started torturing the others. As a consequence, two different classes were created, the rich and the poor. The poor sacrifice all of their opportunities for every kind of convenience of the rich, but the rich do not care for the poor. During flood or any other emergency situation, the condition of the poor becomes the most terrible. Vasudhaiva Kutumbako means the world is one family. If we consider the whole world as one family, then our half of the problems would be solved.
Feelings and illusions. Beauty is a feeling. Had we not looked at the rose, would it have been beautiful? Had the name of rose not been rose, but instead it would have been something else, then would we have loved it? Nothing matters with the name. If we look at the rose and say it's beautiful, then it becomes beautiful. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Whatever creates happiness in our mind, that is beautiful. All the feelings are being controlled by hormones. So the feeling of beauty, form, flavor, fragrance, touch, music, every feeling is a creation of hormones. In one word, we can say everything is illusion. Suppose an object is creating a feeling of beauty in our minds, but it is not creating meaning of beauty in the minds of other creatures. Again, just the reverse can also be true. So we can say that the feeling of beauty changes with the change of place, time, and person. There is a limit to our world of feelings. Beyond this world of feelings, there is a huge world as well. So the great men have said that the mysteries there are in the world of our minds, there are not such mysteries in the whole universe. If we want to understand the macro, which is the universe galaxy, then we will have to understand the micro, which is the structure of atoms and molecules. Scientists have said that atoms are made up of proton, neutron, electron, etc. At the spiritual level, mention about more basic elements has been made. Those are Sattva, Raja, and Tama. With these three qualities, the 5 elements have been created, which are Akash, Vayu, Jal, Agni, and Prithvi. The whole universe has been created with these 5 elements. In this huge universe, every object is rotating around some or other object. Perhaps this is also rotating around any big black hole. Or this universe, ours, is situated within a big black hole. Outside this black hole, there is darkness and some parallel universes which were created at the time of universal programming rectification. If we want to understand this universe or multiverse, if we want to feel the soul of the universe, the Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram, eternal God, then we will have to make our world of feelings bigger.
Mystic light and mysterious darkness. The battle between the light and darkness is perpetual. Light is mystic, but darkness is mysterious. Light is the driving force of life, while darkness shelters us after death. Many thinkers compare the cosmic universe with a dark chamber. In this dark chamber, a few candles are flickering dimly. The chamber may be lighted faintly, but they do not consider it as the ultimate reality. Because the darkness was there before the birth of light, and darkness will prevail again after the destruction of light. However, my opinion is different. I always have been taking the side of light in the continuous battle between light and darkness. I think light is the ultimate reality. Darkness has no existence to me. The dearth of light is defined as darkness. It has no separate entity. Light, however little it is, can defeat the pride of darkness. From time immemorial, light has been trying to kindle the human minds with the rays of hope. Therefore, the main driving force of my life is Tamsoma Jyotirgamaya, which means lead us from darkness to light.
We and the earth. On this earth, however great and intelligent we might consider ourselves, perhaps we are not so. The universe is huge and is continuously growing. The space is immense, and there are many stars from where it takes millions of years to reach our earth. We have been able to travel to very few places of this space. What is there in the depths of this earth? We have very little knowledge about that as well. We have been able to make a hole only up to 12 kilometers. We have not yet been able to reside permanently in the depths of the ocean or in the upper layers of the atmosphere. We are a very small creature. We, the human species, make up only 0.01% of the biomass of this earth. Our capacity to feel is limited. With the naked eye, we cannot see microorganisms. We can hear from 20 hertz to 12 hertz. We cannot hear many sounds. We cannot experience many tastes, many smells, and many touches. Our world of feelings is limited. There is a huge world beyond this world of our feelings. What is happening in the other dimensions outside this dimension of ours? Our knowledge about that is very little. Many perhaps do not know that the activities of our body, our feelings, our thinking power are often controlled by microorganisms and various types of hormones. If we analyze the timeline of this universe, we will find that 1,380 crore years ago, the Big Bang happened. The universe was created and space and timeline started. 456 crore years ago, creation of this earth. 390 crore years ago, creation of the first life on this earth. 38 crore years ago, creation of tree-like plants. 23 crore years ago, the first dinosaur. 15.5 crore years ago, the first bird. 10 crore years ago, the first bees. 6.5 crore years ago, the dinosaur species was completely destroyed. 300,000 years ago, creation of human species in Africa. 38,000 years ago, the humans learned to tame dogs. 6,000 years ago, human civilization. 5,000 years ago, use of coins started first in China. 2,500 years ago, Buddhism. 200 years ago, Christianity. 1,400 years ago, Islam. 500 years ago, advancement of science. 200 years ago, Industrial Revolution. 25 years ago, Technological Revolution. 50 years ago, Globalization. I mentioned so many events as I want to show that the history of human civilization on this earth is very little. To explain this, many believe that within this 3 lakhs years, human civilization has been destroyed and recreated many times, but we do not have any proof. The proof that we have got is that the human civilization has started on this earth nearly 6,000 years ago. Many think that the human species has come to this earth from a different planet because there aren't much similarities with the other creatures of this earth with the humans. We are on this earth for a very little time. We are here by taking advantage of the hospitality of the earth. This earth has made us its own and has given us all kinds of opportunities and benefits. However, if we disrespect this earth, then it can destroy us. Our contribution towards any constructive work on this earth is negligible, although there is no one comparable to us in destructive works. For how long will this earth tolerate our torture? We have already destroyed 83% of the wildlife and 50% of plant life. We have ourselves made this earth unfit for our own survival. One day our greed and stupidity will become the reason of our destruction. When no human will be left who will praise the awesome beauty of this earth, who will be able to feel the beauty of this earth like us, perhaps there isn't any. So the earth has given us opportunities many a time. The time has come to change ourselves. Now only sustainable revolution can prolong the human civilization. Timeline 1900 to 2100. 1914 to 1918, First World War. 1918 to 1920, Spanish flu epidemic, the reason for the death of crores of humans. 1928, penicillin, the first antibiotic, was discovered. 1929 to 39, the Great Depression. All over the world, GDP had gone down by about 15%. 1939 to 1945, Second World War. 1945, the first nuclear weapon was used. 1945, United Nations was formed. We can consider 1945 as an important year of the human civilization because quite a few important events had taken place in this year. 1945 to 1991, Cold War. Cold War between USA and Soviet empires lasted for a long time. 1979, eradicating smallpox from the whole world was possible. 1981, identification of AIDS. 1983, Internet. 1986, world population crossed 5 billion. 1990, World Wide Web. 1990, Hubble Space Telescope was launched. 2001, draft sequence of human genome was published. 2012, the first human-made object escaped from our solar system and entered the interstellar space. 2020, coronavirus epidemic. After 1945, another important year of the human civilization is 2020. From this year, humans will progress towards sustainable revolution which will prolong human civilization on this earth. With information from some books about the future is this prediction. 2030, in East Europe, there will be tremendous earthquake. 2036, water crisis. There will be scarcity of drinking water. 2048, electricity crisis. Due to scarcity in supply of crude oil, there will be electricity crisis. 2056, Third World War. 2068, North America will experience tremendous tsunami. 2078, Fourth World War. 2086, New Earth, new rules, beginning of new era.
As many opinions, that many options. There is nothing called book of mathematics. The entire human life is a book of mathematics. The language of nature is also mathematical. The God is one and the nature is infinite. The universe was created by the union of the one and infinite. The entire physical universe exists in a base called Shunya or zero. Zero means Maya. Zero means nothingness. In total, there is one, zero and infinity. The nature is mysterious and the mathematics is the solution of this mystery. This universe is an immense and mysterious house. We are one very small creature. The Lord of this universe is God. He is the soul of this universe. He is not created nor destroyed. When he is in slumber, he is a flame, and when he takes a huge and extensive form, he is the universe. He is the epitome of kindness, by whichever name we call him, Ishwar, Allah or God. He responds to our call. If we experience that God, then we will realize that there is no difference between Ishwar, Allah or God. As many opinions, as many options. But then, when we try to demean each other, God then becomes very angry. When we fanatically use religion as a weapon to destroy this creation, then God curses us.
Science, Brahma, and Adi Shakti. Science has taught us if you want to understand macro level, like universe, galaxy, black hole, then you have to understand micro level, like structure of molecules and atom. Atom is made of proton, electron, neutron, etc. Spiritual level tells about more basic elements which has made this universe, and that is Triguna. Panchabhut, or 5 basic elements, is made by these Triguna: Sattva, Raja, and Tama. Those 5 elements are the sky, the air, the water, the earth, and the fire. These 5 elements, Panchabhut, has created the universe. If we go to deep inside the spiritual level, then we will realize that the universe, which is created by these 5 basic elements, actually an illusion. Truth is the only one and supreme God. That God calls Brahma in Advaita Vedanta philosophy. Brahma has no shape or form. He is unembodied and omnipresent. We worship that unembodied Brahma as Shiva, Krishna, and in many forms of God. So prophets said, as many views, so many ways. Science has taught us our universe is controlled by power. That power has no formation or destruction. That power has no beginning, neither an end. Power only transfers from one form to another. It is also possible to convert the mass to the power and the power to the mass. We get the description of Adi Shakti in spiritual level. The meaning of Adi Shakti is absolute energy. Now, here the question is, if Brahma is the only truth, is the Adi Shakti an illusion? Maybe not, because Brahma and Adi Shakti are indifferent, just as time and space are inseparable. If the Brahma is fire, then Adi Shakti is the vigor of that fire. Brahma is the absolute consciousness. When Brahma is an active form, we can call him Adi Shakti, or the absolute energy. Whole universe is controlled by that Adi Shakti. Brahma or Adi Shakti is the power that is controlling this universe. Some of that power would be felt by us through meditation. The language of our universe is mathematics. The God is the one and the nature is infinite. The universe was created by the union of the one and infinite. The entire physical universe exists in a base called Shunya or zero. Zero means Maya. Zero means nothingness. In total, there is 1, 0, and infinity. The nature is mysterious and mathematics is the solution of this mystery. So if you want to know this universe, there is no other way but mathematics.
Attaining God. Is God corporeal or incorporeal? Is there any shape of God? There isn't. God is incorporeal and omnipresent. So anyone can question, then why is idol worship? The idol is one medium which builds a bridge between formless God and the devotees. God is not only one stone idol, He is one formless, omnipresent power, the soul of this universe and controller. What is the easiest way to attain God? Many feel that being engrossed always in the thought of God will perhaps make one attain God. However, true devotees know that the way to attain God is different. If you really want to attain God, then you will have to have His creation, serve His creation. So I believe that the hands that serve is purer than the lips that utter hymns. By serving creatures, considering them to be God is the easiest way to attain God. The Gita says, never expect results, just go on to do your work. Thereby you will get everything. Within every one of us there is God, our true self. There is an artist, there is a warrior. Life is a journey, not a race. What is the aim of life? Religion, money, lust, salvation, competition or collaboration? Different wise men have different opinions about life. I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted and behold, service was joy. Quoted by Rabindranath Tagore. Selfless act of service is the path of self-realization or God realization, ultimate aim of life, source of eternal happiness.
Self-realization. Vedanta is a philosophy of self-realization, and it is achieved through yoga. Yoga is a physical, mental, and spiritual practice. Practically, there are a few hundreds of types of yoga or practices, which are categorized into four main types. These are Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, and Karma Yoga. Apart from these, there are two more important types of yoga, Kundalini Yoga and Hatha Yoga. The truth is one, but the paths are many. Yoga is looking for happiness in the self, the Atma, instead of outside us in the earthly objects. We get immense health benefits from yoga. But if we consider yoga as only physical exercise, it will not be correct. Yoga prepares our mind for meditation. It is through meditation that we can connect our soul with the Supreme Soul. Likewise, if we consider Kung Fu or Karate as a martial art or self-defense mechanism, it will be wrong, because self-control is practiced through Kung Fu, Karate. Self-control is a first and foremost step of self-realization. Selfless service is a path of self-realization, and its goal is complete selflessness. Complete selflessness is God realization. Adi Shankaracharya had defined the four religious places, had spread Hinduism again, had explained Advaita Vedanta philosophy, and had shown the path to moksha. He had said that the world is false and that only God is the truth. In the Advaita Vedanta philosophy, he has shown us the path of salvation from all kinds of sorrow and unhappiness. That path is yoga and meditation. Yoga is not only exercise or posture. Yogasana is actually preparing oneself for meditation. Then, through meditation, realization of one's own self and realization of the existence of God within the self is possible. Are self-actualization and self-realization the aims of human life? Many will be unanimous on this subject. Self-actualization need has been given an important place in Maslow motivation theory. Vedanta is the study of self-realization, and yoga is the path to attain self-realization. Truth is the one, but the path to attain that can be different. So, through different kinds of yoga, we are able to attain self-realization. In the yogic culture, Lord Shiva is known as the Adi Guru or the Adi Yogi. He had first shown the path to self-realization through yoga and meditation. It is not in our materialistic world, but in our internal world where the direction to real happiness lies. It is impossible to experience that through yoga and meditation. When we will be able to realize our true selves and the existence of God within ourselves, then we shall not have any sorrow of any unfulfillment. If we can see God everywhere, in every creature, then we will be able to love everyone selflessly. He who loves others serves God. The real happiness that is found in this love cannot be found in any material thing of the outside materialistic world. If we divide happiness, we get knowledge and love. Divine knowledge and divine love are the sources of divine happiness. Through different types of yoga, we can attain self-realization. The four primary types of yoga are Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Karma Yoga. Another two important types of yoga are Hatha Yoga and Kundalini Yoga. Through yoga, we can form union with the Brahma, that is absolute reality. The path to salvation through Ashtanga Yoga depicted in Patanjali and Yoga Sutra is the best. We can call it the Raja Yoga. The Ashtanga Yoga is Yama, abstinence, Niyama, observance, Asana, posture, Pranayama, breathing, Pratyahara, withdrawal, Dharana, concentration, Dhyana, meditation, and Samadhi, absorption. Yoga can be explained through Sammakhya philosophy as the union of the male, that is consciousness, and nature, that is matter, from which this universe has been created. This universe is made up of the 5 elements. These 5 elements in turn are made up of the 3 qualities, which are the 3 basic elements: Satya, Raja, and Tama. Through yoga and meditation, the quality of Sattva develops and the influence of the quality of Tama gradually decreases. Then we can feel the true self within us and feel within us Brahma, that is absolute reality. This way, yoga and meditation to attain self-realization. The Bodhidharma has also shown the path of attaining self-realization through martial arts and meditation. Now it is popular in many countries of the world. We can call martial arts as another form of yoga also. Vedanta and yoga in an organization. Vedanta is the philosophy of self-realization, and yoga is the methodology by which to achieve it. Yoga is a physical, mental, and spiritual practice or discipline. Vedanta is the path of self-knowledge, that is, the spiritual support and goal of yoga. Vedanta and yoga should be compulsory in each and every organization. They should be practiced in each and every organization to improve organizational performance and management. 10 top reasons. 1. Vedanta and yoga fulfill self-actualization need, spiritual need, and motivate employees of an organization. 2. Vedanta and yoga way of life build peace in mind and improve stress management in an organization. 3. Vedanta and yoga boost physical energy. Balanced energy is vital for high-performing employees in an organization. 5. Vedanta and yoga improve personal discipline as well as organizational discipline. 6. Vedanta and yoga improve self-confidence. Improving self-confidence levels among employees of an organization can be beneficial to that person as well as the organization as a whole. 7. Vedanta and yoga have immense medical benefits. They improve health assurance of human resource in an organization. 8. Vedanta and yoga improve moral and ethical value among management and employees of an organization. High ethical value is very much important to create a brand. 9. Vedanta and yoga improve a relation among management and employees of an organization. They improve trust and faith among management and employees of an organization. 10. Vedanta and yoga improve a management decision-making process.
Beyond the world of perception. Our world of perception is restricted to a specific limit. Sometimes we think what we cannot perceive is not true. There is, however, a world beyond the world of our perception. We might not perceive that, but some other creatures might. The power of perception of different creatures is different. We cannot perceive the spirit, the supreme spirit. That doesn't mean that the spirit, the supreme spirit, does not exist. Perhaps after death, the spirit roams around us, but we cannot perceive that because the world of our perception is restricted to a certain limit. Whatever we can experience, we consider to be true. But there are a lot of things in this universe which we cannot experience through our sense organs. There is a limit to every sense organ of ours. We cannot experience anything beyond that limit. But if we consider which we cannot experience to be false, then we are wrong. With the naked eye, we cannot see the microorganisms. The smelling power of dogs is more than human beings. We cannot experience those smells that dogs can. Our hearing capacity is from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. We cannot hear any sound beyond this range. Our tongue is incapable of tasting the taste of many things. This universe has many things which we cannot experience by touch. We have not been able to discover the huge world that lies beyond this world of our experience. All of us has noticed that during lightning, the light is seen first, and after some time the sound is heard. Science has very easily explained this happening. The speed of light is much more than that of sound, so this happens. But this happening does not depend solely on speed. This capacity of experience among different creatures is different. We hear the sound of thunder while after the flash, but some other creature can perceive it before us. In the future, much more research will be done on this subject and many missing links of science will be connected.
Change of an era. I was born in a small green village. The spectrum of modern life did not reach there. Electricity was yet to come. Most of the village roads were muddy. Concrete houses were hardly seen. Most of the houses made of either mud or bamboo. Greenery was all around. We used to enjoy that serene green beauty deeply. On the right side of our home, there was a muddy road. On the left, a bamboo garden was there, along with different plants and trees. Among them were several fruit trees like mango, blackberry, guava, jackfruit, sapodilla, banana, and jujube. Many flower plants were also there. A sandalwood tree and a shishu tree were also there. My grandma used to grow a variety of vegetables in the kitchen garden, like green chili, eggplant, and tomato. We never bought these vegetables from the market. We had cows, and I used to go for cattle grazing with my grandmother. I cannot explain the level of stamina of my grandmother even at that old age. She was a vegetarian and was very fond of birds and animals. Cooking for around 10 street dogs and cats was a regular practice of our household. They were a very favorite. I used to see that flocks of birds like stork, pigeon, and crow gathered after her lunch. My grandma used to feed them. After finishing the food, those birds flew away in the open sky immediately. I watched them daily. We used to enjoy the first rainy day of the monsoon with great pleasure and enthusiasm. We played in the rains throughout the day. That pleasure of the first rains of the season was priceless for us. There were so many images of the rainy season. The sound of the raindrops falling on the tin-made roof, the croaking of frogs, the chirping of crickets, the deep and quiet night, the rustling of leaves. My father used to read the newspaper or do some office work in dim light. I and my two sisters studied in the light of the lantern. Mother did her cooking with a small oil lamp in the kitchen. Now, I am 34 years old. I stay at the Kolkata metropolis. Here, there is light everywhere. Times have totally changed. Electricity, electric light, fan, AC, gas, smartphone, laptop, smart TV, shopping mall, multiplex, park, e-commerce, and many such things have become the indispensable parts of our lives. Quite unexpectedly. We could not even imagine such a lifestyle in our childhood. Even amidst the grandeur of the city, we are unable to enjoy the festivals the way we enjoyed the Durga Puja or Lakshmi Puja in our villages. I began studying in a small primary school of our village, where the students used to sit on the floor. There were no tables, chairs, lights, or fans in the school. We played with our friends in the school playground. We used to climb trees, pluck raw mangoes, and shared with our friends. We had a close relationship with our friends and had long, fun-filled chats with them. My son, who now studies in an international school will not be able to feel the fun and pleasure of our childhood, sitting in his AC classroom. No one from this generation will be able to understand that. Now, our lives have changed to a great extent. Advancement and modernism have given us many benefits which we cannot deny. The whole world is now within our control. Now, cooking is done in gas ovens. Previously, it was done in earthen ovens with coal, sawdust, cow dung cakes, or wood collected from the forest as the fuel. I have seen my mother facing a lot of hardships. She used to break coal with a hammer, make cow dung cakes. My father used to cut woods with an axe for the cooking fuel. We did not have cooking gas in our house. The times are changing fast. We cannot even imagine the possible changes in the coming 50 years. Language voice translator, 3D video conferencing, electric vehicles, commercial space travel will become easily available. Visiting the moon for honeymoon will be not at all an alien concept. Science will become much advanced. There will be a human habitation beneath the sea. Another human civilization will grow there. There will be nothing to get astonished about. But if the Third World War breaks out, what will be its result? The amount of lethal weapons the world has till date, it will be enough to destroy it completely. If there are global crises of electricity or drinking water, how will we survive? We have to prepare ourselves for that. We have to prepare ourselves for any emergency situations like pandemic, natural disasters, etc.
And some rare information. From my early childhood, one question used to bother me very much. This universe is so huge with crores of galaxies, crores of stars, crores of planets and satellites, but other than this Earth, isn't there any existence of life anywhere else? This universe has numerous planets and satellites where there is existence of life. Haven't those aliens ever tried to come to this Earth? Yes, they have. But the aliens haven't been able to come to this Earth easily. The reason? Microorganism. Many scientists think the most powerful living being of this earth is microorganism, and microorganisms rule the world. If any alien body comes in contact with microorganism of this earth of ours, then the extent of microorganism destroys that alien body within a few minutes. Another reason is our atmosphere. The aliens cannot accept oxygen dissolved in our atmosphere, so they cannot survive long in our atmosphere. Science fiction writers have said that to come to our Earth, aliens have chosen a different path. They have taken some human beings and living beings to their planet by using robot-type machines and have performed various experiments on our bodies. They have used these bodies of ours to come to this Earth. Aliens are much more developed than us in knowledge, science, intelligence and strength. Many people believe that in the Vedic age, the gods and goddesses that we used to worship, even the Greek gods and goddesses, were all aliens. Sometimes out of respect and sometimes out of fear. We all have worshipped those aliens. In the last 10,000 years of the history of human civilization, the human civilization and the alien civilization have come in contact with each other many a times. Whenever human civilization has come in contact with alien civilization, the human civilization has progressed a step forward in knowledge and science.
The dolphin and other sea creatures. This earth is 3 parts of water and 1 part of land. Some places in the oceans are so deep that even the Mount Everest can be submerged. How little do we know about the huge world of animals and plants in this immense oceans? Probably, within the depths of the oceans, there are many creatures also which are much more intelligent than human beings, and those creatures have carefully kept their own world segregated from ours. Among the creatures of ocean that we have discovered till date, we know about the huge whale, shark, the poisonous sea snake, etc. It has been found from scientific research that the brain of the dolphin is developed like the brain of humans. They are more intelligent than human beings. The nature of the dolphin is very convivial. Like humans, they also live socially. Empowered with the strength of science, if someday we can reach to the huge civilization of aquatic creatures inside the depths of the oceans, then certainly we will witness a developed social civilization of dolphins and other sea creatures there. Perhaps those creatures have kept their civilization segregated from ours because on this earth we are the only intelligent creature who are themselves spoiling this nature. This earth by making it unsuitable for existence, and we are ourselves inviting catastrophe. Yet we consider ourselves to be the most intelligent creature of the earth.
Roots and wings. Tamso ma Jyotirgamaya means lead us from darkness to light. If a plant is kept in a dark room, then after few days its branches grows towards the windows to get the light. Knowledge or Gyan is that light. We have to go forward towards the light of knowledge to get the freedom from ignorance. For the development and protection of our world, lots and lots of money is not necessary. We need proper education and healthy mentality. We need knowledge, intelligence, moral value and strong character. So, education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself, says John Dewey. Apart from the topics included in the school syllabus, what else should be taught to the students? There are lots of differences in opinion about this. Many believe that the students should be taught martial arts, yoga and meditation. These activities keep us healthy, make our mind cheerful, help in self-control and also enable spiritual upliftment. Should religious lessons be made compulsory in schools? The teachings of the religion which teach a man to love others and respect other religions are good, but the religious lessons which create differences among people are not at all acceptable. Principles, morality and ethics should be taught from the school level. To terminate the very base of corruption and terrorism which are destroying our systems, it is necessary to teach morality and ethics. Cleanliness is godliness. Students should learn about that. Students should be taught sharing. They should be taught a sense of ethics. Proper importance should be given to their behavior and the formation of moral character. Now it is necessary to start practicing the principles of reasoning, decision making and case studies from the school level. Students should be explained the details of climate change, natural resources and environmental issues. This is because today's students are the responsible citizens of the future. They will be given all the responsibilities in future. Agriculture should be taught as an important subject from school level itself. Small business management, entrepreneurship skills should also be taught from the school level. Apart from that, training on different kinds of handicrafts should also be given from the school level. A student's root and wings should be made strong with the help of education, so that they can become stable in future and take their flight of desired achievement and elevation easily. Every student should be taught. Number 1, do not waste food, electricity, petrol, diesel, etc. Money is yours, but resource belongs to society. Number 2, plant a tree, care animal, save ecosystem. Number 3, help one poor family. Number 4, clean your society, stop unnecessary pollution, say no to firecrackers. Number 5, be spiritual. Learn about your true self. If education fails to teach us the moral values, if it fails to build us up as humans, if a school fails to teach a student about protecting the environment and controlling environmental pollution, then there is no use of such learning. The learning which will not only make us skilled but also build up as true humans will be considered as true learning. The learning which will teach us to prevent wastage of natural resources and conservation of natural resources will be considered as true learning.
Shortcomings of democracy and solutions. Is democracy the perfect form of government? Majority wins the power in the democracy. But majority could not be right all the time. If the awareness level of the majority is less, then their decision could not be perfect. As a result, there will be misuse of power. We are aware that responsibility comes along with the power which should be maintained. The one who can take that responsibility, power must be given to that person. Power should always be given to the efficient person. Most of the time in democracy, we see that the power has gone to the inefficient person. In that case, it is impossible to stop the misuse of power. In the failure of democracy, a person's poor character plays an important role. If we analyze human character, if the power is handed over to an unworthy person, then the person becomes corrupted. Then his self-interest and greed of the power will get importance instead of democracy. Corruption would increase rapidly inside the system. The adage goes that politicians and diapers should be changed regularly. The reasons are the same. Keeping them for long makes them dirty. If a politician holds power for a long time, morally he becomes weak. He or she is then driven by personal interest and greed for power. At this phase, he or she starts exploiting others. The failure of democracy lies there. Here, my opinion is different. If a democracy lies in incompetent hands, then changing the same does not carry any sense. Therefore, democracy should be delegated to eligible people. He or she should be a learned person with a good moral character. The election should not be the only point of democracy. Eligible persons should be given the power by the twin process of both selection and election, because the verdict of the majority may not be good for the community. First of all, there should be minimum eligibility criteria for participating in an election. The candidate should be a doctorate. There may be a question: is there any need of being educated for contesting in an election? The reply from my end is yes, because it is assumed that educated people seldom misuse the power. Secondly, they have to appear in a qualifying test like civil service examination. If the person qualifies, only then he will get the chance of placing the candidature. After that, the normal election process will continue and we will choose the leader. If we do not reform democracy in this manner, the degradation of the same is inevitable. Misuse of power will take place. When all the leaders will be educated, honest and competent, only then democracy will be successful. Otherwise, some power monger, dishonest, and self-interested person will misuse the power, and they will not allow an honest and educated person to participate in the system of politics or giving way to democracy.
Mysterious time. If there is anything most mysterious on this world, it is time. As we find in science fiction stories, we can reach into the past on a time machine, but that is perhaps never possible. The speed of time is continuously current flowing towards the future, so against the rules of nature, as it is never possible to reach into the past. However, we can reach the future. If we are empowered with the power of science and can travel into different dimensions, then it is possible. The mythological stories say that when it is one day in heaven, 1 year passes on our earth. The scientific explanation is that in different dimensions, the speed of time is different. So, if we go to a different dimension where passing 1 day is equal to 1 year on the earth, then in that dimension, after passing 100 days and returning to the earth, it will be seen that 100 years have passed here. Again, the reverse can also happen. If we can reach one such dimension where passing 1 year is like passing only 1 day on this earth, different dimensions have different speed of time. Who is controlling this speed of time? He is one and only, the Almighty. He is the soul of the universe. He controls the speed of time. He is so powerful that he can stop the speed of time. If the speed of time stops, then all the objects of this universe will stop at the same time. Perhaps most of us don't know that every object of this universe is revolving, centering around some or the other object. Stopping of time means all the moving objects of this universe stopping simultaneously. As we find in Mahabharata, during the war, Sri Krishna was imparting the knowledge of Gita to Arjun. He had slowed down much the speed of time. Now the question is, can the speed of time flow in the opposite direction? Perhaps it is not possible against the rule of nature. The Almighty God also perhaps does not intend so.
Great things emerge from small ones. Great things are created from small ones. So don't ignore small things. Tomorrow it may transform into a large one. Do not consider yourself insignificant, else you will suffer from inferiority complex. Remember, the great things emerge from a small one. Life can be made from a small egg. What about our dear universe? Even the universe was created from an egg, and it is expanding continuously. It is growing in size every now and then. At first, you have to understand this universe at the micro level if you want to appreciate it at a macro level. So, if you want to have an idea of the galaxy and the other things, you have to understand the structure of molecules and atoms first. If you want to understand the soul, then you have to understand the self. If you don't appreciate your own self, you cannot realize the soul. The understanding of God is only possible if you can connect yourself to the cosmic soul. Only then we will appreciate the absolute reality of the Brahma. Don't get demotivated by whatever little progress you have achieved, and never demotivate others. Always remember, great things emerge from small things. Always try to forge ahead. Trust yourself that one day surely you will reach your goal. Remember, you have to face a number of failures to achieve success. You just need to make your attitude strong and forge ahead. Always remember, great things emerge from small things.
Health is wealth. A healthy mind resides in a healthy body. If somebody becomes physically weak, his mental strength also reduces to a great extent. If the body is not healthy, then there is neither peace of mind nor joy. The ability to work also reduces. That is why regular physical exercise is necessary. We should take care of our body. It is important to keep our body and our surroundings clean and healthy. Cleanliness is godliness. Daily walking is necessary. One should practice yoga and meditation regularly. Students should participate in different types of outdoor games. They should take part in martial arts like Kung Fu, Karate that will improve their confidence level. Swimming and cycling are also very good for health. Music and dance keeps us healthy and gives pleasure to our minds. Food habits are very important. Special attention should be given to ensure that healthy food is taken. All habits that are injurious to health should be quit.
Farmers. During childhood, when we wasted food on the plate, our father used to get angry and explain to us how the farmers toiled hard to produce the food we eat. However, they never get the right price for their hard work. Some dishonest business persons sell these crops in high prices in the market, but the farmers do not get the right price. The farmers have limited needs and they are satisfied with a very small amount. Nevertheless, they cannot fulfill even their modest needs. In times of flood or any other emergency, their condition becomes most miserable. They are compelled to take loans from the money lenders at a high rate of interest and become bankrupt to repay the money. Sometimes they even commit suicide to get rid of the sufferings. The earth has so much of resources that none of us should be in poverty. The unequal distribution of wealth has created poverty. This is why poverty is a man-made problem. But is this kind of social system proper, where one class of people wastes resources and another class faces poverty? That is why our father used to tell us, never waste anything. You will never have scarcity. Can a scarecrow look after the plundering of the profits of the farmers? The government has to give special attention to it and make a proper system so that the farmers get the right price for their hard work. It has to form a special department to protect the interests of the farmers. Not only the government, but we also have to come forward and fulfill certain responsibilities towards the farmers. We have to take special care to ensure that those who produce the food we eat do not die in hunger and poverty.
Shiva Shakti. Shiva is the auspicious one. Shakti is the divine energy. Shiva Purana. Shiva is ultimate male form of the universe. Shakti is the ultimate female form of the universe. Samakhya philosophy. Shiva is the Purush and Shakti is the Prakriti. Shiva is the soul of the universe, that is the Purush. Shakti is the universe, Prakriti. Advaita Vedant philosophy. Shiva is the Brahman and Shakti is the Maya. Creationism. Shiva is the creator, Shakti is the creation. Modern science. Shiva is the multi-dimensional space, Brahman, and time, Mahakal. Shakti is the dark matter, Mahamaya, and dark energy, Adi Shakti. Tantric philosophy. Shiva is the consciousness, Shakti is the absolute energy. Shiva is the Param Brahman or the absolute reality. Shakti is the absolute energy. There is no difference between Brahman and Adi Shakti. One form of God is Brahman or the absolute reality. Other form of God is Adi Shakti or the absolute energy. When Brahman is an active form, we call him Adi Shakti. In yogic culture, Shiva is considered as Adi Guru or Adi Yogi. Shakti is considered as Adi Shakti.
The world is one family. The world is full of varieties. In this world, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, various types of religion, race, language, customs, cultures have come together into a homogeneous mixture. The world is varied. That is why our world is painted beautifully in the colors of the rainbow. But there is unity among variety. We have a particular identity, religion. That religion is humanity. The world is one family. We believe staunchly, whoever loves creatures serves God. But when one particular religion, race, or language, in order to prove its superiority, attacks other religion, race, or language, then the religion of humanity becomes obliterated. They forget that the world is one, a family. Then God becomes angry upon us. Then black darkness envelops the world.
Microorganisms. We are never alone. We live and surrounded by microorganisms. We cannot see them with our naked eyes, but they are everywhere. They are the smallest living organism. We all have a negative perception in our mind towards microorganism. Virus, bacteria, etc. causes many diseases in our body, so we despise them. Since my childhood, I have been very curious about microorganism and it has increased with time. So when I grew up and I started studying microorganism, I have realized that we and up until now, whatever the scientists have researched and learnt about microorganism is way too little. Microorganisms have a separate world. We cannot see them normally with our naked eyes. We cannot perceive their world. Most of us do not know that more than 6 billion microorganisms live inside the mouth of a healthy person, compared to total human population of Earth, which is 7.3 billion. Most of us do not know that only less than 1% of microorganisms are harmful for us, and the remaining more than 99% of microorganisms, most of them are useful for us. Microorganism takes our body back to the nature after our death. Microorganism controls our thoughts, our feelings too. Microorganism helps to complete many necessary functions in our body. Microorganism plays a very important role in our formation and revolution. Microorganism has formed millions of years ago than the human species, and it will exist millions of years more than the human species. We live in a particular layer of the earth, but microorganism lives in different layer and in different temperature and everywhere in water body, in land and in the sky of the earth.
The teacher. I was very obedient from childhood. I was also very loyal to the teachers. We were afraid of the teachers. We also respected them. Even today, if I come across an old teacher, I touch his feet to show my respect, because I consider the blessings of the teachers are priceless. Their contribution to our lives is unparalleled, not only imparting us knowledge, but the teachers have an undeniable role in building our character. Wherever we have reached today, or whatever we have achieved, are due to the teachers' relentless hard work. At that time, the teachers punished the students harshly for any carelessness in studies. Even if a student is absent to the school without any reason, the teacher used to visit his house and beat him up in front of his parents. This kind of treatment is unthinkable today. Now, the parents do not want the teachers to beat or punish the students severely. However, they never hesitate to blame the teachers if the students do not have good results in the examinations. In our times, the situations were different. The approaches of the parents have undergone great changes within just a few years. Maybe we are now more interested in the Western education system. Maybe that is good. A new kind of education system has been introduced in the English medium schools. Now, online education system has also started. However, now I think the most important aspect is making the interaction between the teacher and the students stronger. The teachers have great responsibilities in this society. They have to take care that the students become responsible citizens in future. They have to love the students like their own children, guide them and dedicate themselves for the betterment of the students. A student should also understand that it is the teachers who can show them the right path of life. They have to pay due respect to the teachers.
Time machine. Nature follows a particular rule. Change is the law of the universe. However, how much will change, which way the change will take place, follows a particular rule. We can call that rule the universal programming. Place, time and character shall always be specific, which means that we can in no way change or rectify the event that has already happened. Event that will take place in the future will happen according to a specific rule. Each and every event has a cause and effect relationship. Usually, we shall not be changed in any event in the future. Whatever has been destined for the future will happen. If it does not happen in one way, it will happen in some other way. The rule of universal programming says so. If we can reach into the past on a time machine, then we shall be able to change any event of that time. As a result of which, an immense change will take place in the universal programming. Parallel universe will be created. However, practically that might not be possible because the speed of time never flows backwards. So it is not possible to reach into the past on a time machine. So it is not possible to change or rectify any event of the past. In science fiction stories, we find description of time machine. Our curiosity about time machine knows no bounds. Now the first question is, shall we ever be able to invent time machine artificially? The answer is perhaps not. However, we might develop in knowledge and science it shall never be possible for us to build time machine. However, in this universe, there are many natural time machines. If we can find out those time machines, we can use it for our benefit. Then time travel will be possible. With those time machines, we shall be able to travel from one time to another time. Now the second question. If human beings can find out time machine in the future, then why are they not coming to this world of ours by that time machine? The answer is, it is never possible to travel in the past on a time machine. It is possible to increase or decrease the speed of time by time machine, but the speed of time can never flow in the opposite direction. The scientists have explained, if anyone travels at close to the speed of light, then to him the speed of time will reduce greatly. So we can say that place, time and person are definite. Those can never be various. We live within three-dimensional space. Time is the fourth dimensional. Space and time are inseparable. That is why whatever has occurred can never be changed. That is why it is not at all possible to travel on a time machine into the past. However, we can travel on a natural time machine into the future. In the future world, we will get such types of time machines. If it is possible to reach a different dimension through a wormhole, then with the help of cosmic strings and supermassive black hole, time travel will be possible. If we go to different dimension where passing one day is equal to passing 1 year on the earth, and then after passing 100 days in that dimension and coming back to this earth, it will be seen that 100 years have passed here. Again, the reverse can also happen. if we reach any such dimension where passing 1 year is equal to passing 1 day on this earth. In this universe, it is never possible for speed of time to stop because every object in this universe is rotating, centering around some or the other object. This universe of ours is also rotating, centering around a black hole. So stopping of time means the stopping of all the objects of this universe at the same time. We can call this equilibrium. It is never possible for speed of time to flow in the opposite direction as well. It is not possible to go to the past. If someone goes into the past and makes even the most insignificant change of some occurrence, then there will be a massive change in the whole programming of the universe. Infinite parallel universes will be created, as a result of which the universe will be destroyed. The Creator does not intend that, so speed of time can never flow in the opposite direction.
International Children's Day. International Children's Day is celebrated every year on the 20th of November. It is celebrated to improve awareness among the children, to improve their welfare and establish the principle of unity in diversities. One who is minute today will transform into massive in future. Change is the rule of this world. Today's child will become a responsible citizen of tomorrow. That is why we have a lot of responsibilities towards them. We have to gift them beautiful earth. We should take utmost care so that no child loses his or her life due to starvation or malnutrition. We must make proper arrangements for the children to come out of the darkness of ignorance and get the light of wisdom. Providing proper education and good health to all the children is our responsibility. That is why all of us should take a pledge on the International Children's Day. Right from the beginning of their childhood, every child should be taught to follow the principle of sharing is caring. If we share our pleasures, it grows manifold. If we share our pain, the burden of it becomes less heavy. If we share the wealth, its utility increases many times. If we share knowledge, it also increases. Sharing can solve half the problems in the world. The resources available in this world may be sufficient for all the people, but due to the unequal distribution of wealth, we have created a poverty. That is why a class of people is wasting resources, while another class is finding it difficult to fulfill the basic needs of food, clothes, and shelter. So right from the beginning of their childhood, every child should be taught not to waste anything, and then there would be no scarcity. They should be taught the principles of sharing and caring. Poverty can be removed by sharing and caring. Much money is not needed for the development of this world. Only good education and healthy mentality are required. Every child should be taught that health is wealth. A healthy mind resides in a healthy body. That is why regular physical exercise is necessary. We should take care of our body. It is important to keep our body and our surroundings clean and healthy. Cleanliness is godliness. Food habits are very important. Special attention should be given to ensure that healthy food is taken. All habits that are injurious to health should be quit. The children are soft-natured, so we should take special care so that they do not get depressed for any reason. They should be made aware of the fact that the menace of depression can also be removed by sharing and caring. Children should be taught many things outside the purview of the curriculum. The parents and the teachers should come forward and take active initiative for this. The teachers play an important role not only in attaining knowledge but also in the formation of the moral character of the students. The teacher-student relation should be made stronger. The roots and wings of all the students should be developed properly so that they can make their dream flights easily in future. Children should be taught ethics right from the beginning. Lessons of the ethics are necessary if we want to remove corruption and terrorism from the core. The children should be taught that the world is a family. Environmental issues should be explained to the children thoroughly. Care should be taken so that we do not make the world unsuitable for habitation. This is why trees should be planted regularly. Plants and wildlife should be conserved well. Special attention should be given to climate change. Every child should be made aware of the beginning so that we don't cause unnecessary environmental pollution. This is because today's children are going to become responsible citizens of tomorrow.
Change is the law of the universe. Nature follows a particular rule. Change is the law of the universe. However, how much will change, which way the change will take place, follows a particular rule. We can call that rule the universal programming. Change is the order of life. We have come to this earth empty-handed and will also depart with empty hand. Nothing is our own in this world. Even our own bodies will be dissolved in 5 great elements one day. Nothing is permanent, not even our problems. Just as night comes after day and day comes after night, those who persistently try, they never lose. It is not possible to be successful every time in life, but those who consider failures to be the stairs of success, they never lose. Making knowledge, indifference and devotion the companions walking on the path of truth, goodness and beauty is called life. The ever cheerful God wants that, love and purity. This mortal body of ours, our life, and in a bigger sense this universe of ours, are a bunch of software programs in the hand of God. To add or delete one software program, suddenly one huge change can take place. So, God has said, change is the law of the universe. There is no system or place in a system which is absolute. Everything in this universe is relative. Nothing is absolute. Everything in this universe is illusion. Only God is the truth, the absolute reality.
True love. A difference between love and like. If you like a flower, you will pick it up. But if you love a flower, you'll water it every day. If you love a flower, don't pick it up. Because if you pick it up, it dies and ceases to be what you love. So if you love a flower, let it be. Love is not about possession. Love is about appreciation. What is the meaning of true love? Some people think that I love you means I like you, I desire you, I want you, I cannot live without you, I can do anything to get you. But this is not true love. Love is not about possession. Love is base of sacrifice. I love you means that I want to give everything to you. This is the most powerful and beautiful emotion in the world. True love is really rare in this world. True love is divine love. Only two beautiful souls can love.
What are the probable causes of the destruction of human civilization? There are different opinions on this. Some say natural disasters like flood, earthquake, meteorite fall, volcanic eruption, and great destructive water overflow can be the reasons of destruction. Some say crisis of water or electricity, world war, microbes, famines, severe contamination of water and oxygen, climate change, or attack of the aliens may be the cause of destruction. The way we are wasting water and electricity, there will be acute crisis of these two in future. Lack of resource will cause conflicts among us. Once the Third World War begins, the world will be destroyed completely. The amount of lethal weapons the world has till date, it will be enough to destroy it completely. Greed and stupidity may destroy the human civilization one day. We have already destroyed 83% of wild animals and 50% of plants. We ourselves have made this world unfit for human habitation. If, because of us, balance of food chain is destroyed, then by the rule of nature, new food chain will be created. In that food chain, the role of humans will become insignificant. This world was already there before we were created. When we will be finished, it will still be there. If we disrespect this nature, then this nature will finish us. We must not forget that we are surviving in this world by taking advantage of the hospitality of nature. We must not forget we are surviving in this world by taking advantage of the hospitality of nature.
The gods of science fiction stories. Where the gods, demons, and other supernatural powers that we get mention of in our mythological stories really creatures from different planets? Or it can also be that they were developed species of humans of the future. They had come in our times by traveling on the time machine. During the ages of the Puranas, those people who could control the natural energy with the help of their brain were called gods and demons. In science fiction stories, those people are called superhuman and supervillain. The writers of science fiction stories think that the deities that we worshipped in the Vedic age, even the Greek deities, were aliens. Sometimes out of respect, sometimes out of fear, we have worshipped those aliens. Many considered those deities to be some developed species of the future. We can put to active use only 10% of our brains, while they could use more than 90%. So they could control the natural forces of the surroundings. How did the deities come to this earth? There are some secret places on this earth from where by natural means, traveling from one time to another time, from one dimension to another dimension is possible. That is, within a few minutes, a distance of several lakh light years can be traversed. So there was no need to build any machine artificially. Those ancient deities were much developed in knowledge and science. They had created small satellite towns in space, deep in sea, inaccessible mountains. They could assimilate in their bodies the vitality snatched away from the defeated soldiers and grew even stronger. They were capable of creating clones. They could transfer vitality from one body to another through a peculiar machine. This way they attained long life. Those deities could travel in space according to their will. They could travel from one place to another very fast, with minute bodies, vanish like invisible man. They were efficient in hypnotism. By means of a peculiar machine, they could extract the vitality of any creature. That machine was so powerful that it could send one big town into a black, dark world. We perhaps do not know there may be some natural medicine in this world that can cure all our diseases, can grant us permanent youth, that can provide immortality to our cells. We have heard of churning of Amrit in our mythological stories.
Some unbelievable facts of the Purans. There is description of different types of weapons in the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, like the Brahmastra, the powerful, unfailing weapon of Lord Brahma. When we read about the description of those unusual weapons, we become amazed. There is description of the Pushpak Rath, the aerial chariot. There is description of the demons. There is description of flying in the sky like birds, giving curse and those taking effect, clairvoyance, and many such unbelievable things. We become amazed to find all these. Many consider that if atom bombs can be built with atomic energy, then why cannot the Brahmastra be built with self-energy? If we can develop our individual self-energy and simultaneously activate major part of our brain, then with the help of our brain, we can control the natural energy. If we can connect our soul with the Brahman and absolute reality, then many impossibilities can become possible. During the ages of the Purans, those people who would control the natural energy with the help of their brain were called gods and demons. In science fiction stories, those people are called superhuman and supervillain. Now, with the help of scientific energy, we have discovered medicines for different diseases. Many think in the world of those days, with the help of yogic energy, they had been able to find out medicines for all diseases. So much so, they could even trace out Amrit, the ambrosia which protects our body from diseases, aging and death. We attain permanent youth and immortality. In the stories of the Purans, there is mention of Mrit Sanjeevani Mantra, which is a form of yogic energy. That yogic energy could even bring back to life dead human beings. To maintain balance between power of gods and demons, Ashur Guru Shukracharya was given Mrit Sanjeevani Mantra. However, we do not have any proof of the stories of the Purans, so those can appear unbelievable to us. So instead of relying on self-energy, we have relied on scientific energy. With the help of scientific energy, we have discovered various kinds of weapons, the aeroplane, the computer, the smartphone, and numerous such machines. In the ages of the Purans, the gods and the demons were perhaps destroyed in their fight for the share of Amrit. Stories of the superhuman and supervillain has now found place in the storybooks of children.
Durga Puja. The majority of the religions of the world worship God in the masculine form. Only we worship God as the eternal mother. For us, the Brahma or the divine soul and Shakti, the eternal power, are the same and inseparable. Durga Puja is the most popular festival of the Bengalis. Goddess Durga, the symbol of original power and destroyer of danger, comes to the earth. She comes along with the goddess of wealth and prosperity, goddess Lakshmi, and the goddess of wisdom, goddess Saraswati. The god of beauty, Kartik, and the god of good qualities and success, Ganesha, also comes with her. So it can be said that the powerful and the destroyer of evil goddess Durga comes with a whole package. The demon Mahishashur also comes with them every year. A story is incomplete to a great extent without a villain. Mahishashur as a villain is incomparable. It is a character very similar to the high-profile villains of the modern science fictions. He comes out of the stomach of a buffalo. Goddess Durga transforms herself into a goddess with 10 hands and kills the demon Mahishashur. All the vehicles of the gods and goddesses like the lion, the owl, the swan, the peacock and the mouse play significant roles in this story. It was impossible to publicize the greatness of Rama without Ravana. Just like that, a high-profile villain like Mahishashur was needed to portray the 10-handed evil destroyer, Goddess Durga. However, the holy goddess has a different image. She is affectionate. She listens to the prayers of her children. She loves them dearly. She protects them from all kinds of dangers. This image of the Holy Mother is joyful. Many people ask me, the goddess Durga comes with such grandeur and festivities, but why doesn't she come with Lord Shiva? Everyone knows about the relationship between Lord Shiva and Goddess Durga. They may have separate bodies, but their souls are united. There is not a single couple as unique as them in the entire mythological stories. They even surpass the love story of Narayana and Goddess Lakshmi. When Narayana visits the earth with incarnations, Goddess Lakshmi follows him. Maybe she's afraid to send Narayana in the earth alone. The Goddess Durga has no such fear. She comes to the earth in a relaxed mood. She knows that there is nothing much to worry about Lord Shiva. At the most, he will be under the spell of addiction. There is nothing else to be tensed about. Now the question arises, why doesn't Mahadev come to the earth with Goddess Durga? I did not know the answer to this question. This is because I could not understand before. I could understand only after I got married. The reason is that Mahadev wants to spend a few days all by himself, just as we also want.
Indian culture. India was once known as Sone ki Chiriya, that is bird of gold. India was so rich in wealth that it is impossible to express in words. By exporting Indian spices to foreign countries, the huge amount of gold earned had put the GDP of India at the top position in the world. For ages, foreign powers had looted India, still they had not been able to loot the real beauty of India. Once upon a time, India was called the Vishwaguru. In knowledge and science, India had earned the top position in the world. In educational institutions like Nalanda, Taxila and the like, students from various parts of the world used to come to gain knowledge. Books like the Veda, Vedanta, the Upanishads, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Gita are associated with the Indian culture pervasively. Gautam Buddha has taught the whole world the language of peace and non-violence. Through his Ashtanga Yoga Sutra, Patanjali has shown the path to self-realization to the whole world. Shankaracharya has explained the Advaita Vedanta philosophy and illuminated the whole world with the light of that knowledge. Bodhidharma has shown the whole world the path to self-realization through martial arts. For the development of this world, lots and lots of money is not necessary. We need proper education and healthy mentality. We need knowledge, intelligence, moral value and strong character. India will show that path to the whole world. Satyam Shivam Sundaram is that path. Only science cannot save the human civilization. Moral education is necessary. The basic principles of Indian culture are: the world is one family, Satyamev Jayate, and guest is God. The Indian culture has always given more importance to character building. Who am I is not important here. What am I is important here. I am Brahman, that is absolute reality. I am Buddha, that is the enlightened. What do I want? I want true happiness. The source of true happiness is not in the materials of our outside materialistic world. It is there in our inner world. The Indian culture has shown to the whole world the path to self-realization through yoga and meditation. If we can realize our true self, connect oneself with the Brahman, that is absolute reality, and experience it within our own self, then no pain of any unfulfillment remains. When we find God everywhere, in every creature, we are able to love everyone selflessly. So great men have said that he who loves creatures serves God. Real happiness lies in that love and not in any material in the outside materialistic world.
How to overcome depression? Depression is a social disease. It can affect people of different age and socio-economic class, the rich, the poor, the young, the old, the educated, or the uneducated. But first, it has to be understood why depression occurs. The reasons behind depression may be manifold: economic, social, family, political, anything. Marital life, education, career, greed for money, power, position, love, importance, childlessness, disturbed family life, exploitation of women by their in-laws, unemployment, sudden loss of jobs, huge loss in business, etc. What are the ways of combating depression? Depression can be cured with the help of love, motivation, and meditation. Depression can be cured quickly by meditation. I have experienced the good results. When you can feel the supreme energy to some extent through meditation, then you will feel how small and insignificant you are in this vast universe. Then all our pride and ego will go away. Then, when you will be able to feel the supreme energy within yourself, all your inferiority complexes will go away. Then you will feel yourself complete and satisfied. Depression won't be able to affect you anymore. Depression can also be cured by love, care, and affection. If somebody can be motivated continuously, then his depression goes away. I am a CAT GMAT trainer by profession. I guide students in their preparation for the MBA entrance examinations. I have noticed depression among many of my students. I try to take them out of depression by continuous motivation. I'm discussing it with one illustration. Then everybody will understand. My student. A boy came to me for the preparation of CAT examination. He wants to get admitted to a very good MBA college. But he has poor basic knowledge of mathematics. He cannot even solve very easy mathematical problems. All his friends sitting nearby are solving them easily, but he cannot do them. He lacks the minimum knowledge for solving them. So he thinks that he cannot do anything in life. The mathematical problems which everybody solves easily, he cannot do them with much effort. He is a total failure and cannot clear any exam. Thus, this boy becomes affected by depression. I noticed it for quite some time. At first, I started teaching him separately, so that he cannot compare himself with others. I started teaching him from the basics. Gradually, he started understanding mathematics. Later, he did not face much difficulty. Finding some difficulties in mathematics made him think that he cannot do anything in life. I explained him that it is wrong. A student's future success and improvement do not only depend on his academics. It is more dependent on his personal skill. I explained to him that he has some skills which others don't have. I assured and explained to him that he has leadership skill, motivating power, negotiation skill, and decision-making skill. After a few days, he started believing in his qualities. From then onwards, he never felt the inferiority complex about him. Then he started concentrating on his studies and got back his confidence. After that, he got admitted to a very good MBA college. From there, he got a good job. After a few years, I met him. He had become a very successful businessman. He touched my feet to pay his respect. I was very happy to see him successful. My father. There is so much contribution of my father in my life that I may not be able to express it in words. During my childhood, I was very fond of playing cricket. Not only cricket, but I also used to remain occupied in playing carom board, cards, and other types of games. Perhaps my father understood that if I remained so busy playing games, I would not be able to do well in my studies. So, one day he called me and said, "If you stand first in this year's exam, I will buy you a new bat." Since then, I started studying with great enthusiasm and stood first that year. Securing the first rank in a lesser-known village school was not much of a big achievement, but that day my father motivated me to believe that if I try hard, I can secure the first rank. From that day, my confidence improved to a great extent. In later years, I realized that it is not possible for me to pursue a career in sports. So I started concentrating on my studies more. But if my father forced me to leave sports and focus on studies, then I would have been suffering from depression. Then, when I was promoted to class 8, I developed a new passion. From that time, I started writing Bengali stories and poems. One day, my father called me. I told him that I want to become a writer in future. He said, "In order to become a writer, I have to go to Kolkata for higher studies. If I can secure more than 75% marks in the class 10 and 12 examinations, then he will send me to Kolkata for higher studies." From then on, I started studying harder to fulfill my dreams. Growing up, I could not become a successful writer. My father always dreamt of my bright future. He wanted me to dedicate myself for some social cause. I still try to fulfill my father's dream. I always try to live up to his expectations and make him proud. One cannot really understand the feelings of a father until he becomes a father himself. Now I can understand his feelings, which I was unable to understand before. This is because today I am also a father.
psychology says if we analyze each and every crime, we will find one or more motives behind them. That may be wealth, power, women, revenge, and many others. But it is not mandatory to have a motive behind all crimes. Serial killing is such an example, where there is no clear motive behind the murders. They commit murders due to mental distortion or perversion. Many people commit crime due to some mental perversion. The reason behind rape may not be the enjoyment of brutal physical pleasure. Had it been so, the animals would have been more prone to rapes. But normally that is not the case. Mental perversion is mostly the motive behind rape. We mostly point out at the short dresses of women as the motive behind rape, but that argument is not at all acceptable. Greed, hatred, and anger for women give rise to mental perversion among many men. This perversion is the reason behind most of the rape cases. When murderers or rapists commit the heinous crime due to mental perversion, do they deserve exemplary punishment? Perhaps yes, because as long as they are not given strict exemplary punishment, these kinds of mental perversions cannot be controlled.